Hey everybody, today is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. I'm Gene and welcome to Hanging with Uncle. I know it's been a while since I've been on the air, but I have not been feeling well and finally getting my lungs back. I'm tired of hacking up all this crap, but hopefully it's under control and we'll get through a coughing-free episode today. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. We're really trying to grow our channel and reach at least 1,000 subscribers. And also hit that like button. It lets the rest of the world know we exist out there. And that notification bell on the right side will let you know whenever we go live and put new content out there. So having said that, let's get into it. I know a lot has been made of the border security bill that the GOP has been screaming for years. But let's take a look at what they do, not what they say. And the border security that the GOP has been clamoring for is a false flag, a false front, a red herring. They really could care less. And we have to ask ourselves, well, what's the motive for that? Why scream for border security when now that you have a bipartisan bill coming out of the Senate, hopefully, why is it now not good enough when you haven't even read it? Because you owe fealty to Cadet Bone Spurs who doesn't want it done so that you can continue screaming about what's going on instead of actually doing something about it. Because if you were serious, the bill would have already been on Biden's desk, and everything that's in the border security package would go into effect, like more border patrol agents helping to manage the crossings of undocumented people coming into the country looking for asylum or refugee status. You would have more judges, more processing centers, more people to help vet what's coming into our country, more security to stop the flow of fentanyl coming across the southern border. All these things are at play, and there's a lot more. But remember, this is not just a border security bill. This is a bill for our national security, because this bill sends aid to Taiwan in their defense against Chinese aggression. It sends funding to Ukraine to stop communist Russia and Vladimir Putin from gaining the Ukraine and all of those natural resources to help enrich themselves. And it also would have sent aid to Israel. Now, I know Israel is a hot topic because we know that Benjamin Netanyahu is not just trying to stop Hamas. He's using this as a justification to commit genocide against the Palestinian people. And he has to go. Now, in my opinion, I do not agree with just sending blanket aid to Israel because of the tactics that Netanyahu has used. In my opinion, if you want really to combat Hamas and minimize civilian casualties of the Palestinian people, then I think we need to send our own aid in the form of generals or intelligence on the ground to make sure that our resources are being used properly and not in violation of the Geneva Convention, which, just on a side note, I believe that's where Netanyahu belongs for war crimes. But also, again, why? Just ask yourself why would the GOP after screaming for border security bill, because this border security bill is tied aid to, our allies around the world. And that protects our national interest here. So, keeping that in mind, what would be the long goal? Well, we already know when Cadet Bone Spurs was in the White House, he wanted to pull us out of NATO and make that alliance weaker, which would only benefit Vladimir Putin and the communist Russia. So to me, it looks like Republicans are supporting communism. Bottom line, that's what they look like they're doing. That's what their actions are showing me anyway. And now we have the ruling that came out of the D.C. Court of Appeals that says there's no such thing as presidential immunity because, long story short, here in the United States, we have presidents, not kings. And right now, Cadet Bone Spurs is not president. He's citizen Trump, or in my opinion, defendant Trump. And let the ball roll. Kicking and screaming. Accountability is the name of the game here. And, again, all my time in law enforcement, never has the question come up when you are investigating an alleged crime, what political party are you? It doesn't happen that way. This is not politically motivated. This is not Biden sicking the Department of Justice on his political rivals. This is the Department of Justice following the law and looking for accountability for the violation of those laws. For example, the case in Mar-a-Lago in Florida, was brought by the archives, because the archives have their own law enforcement arm associated with them. And they are the ones who alerted the Department of Justice that documents were missing. And so that has progressed to where it is now, to where search warrants were served, probable cause, because they know the information that was missing. So it gives them probable cause to go look for those documents that belong in the archives. And lo and behold, we find classified documents revealing nuclear secrets and so on and so forth. That's not politically motivated. That's accountability. We have January 6th going on now. Judge Chutkan's case, it looks like, will be going forward, and hopefully we'll have a resolution to that prior to the votes in November. But most importantly, I think, something else came out today. Because now that the D.C. Court of Appeals has ruled there is no presidential immunity for any president, it doesn't matter. Now you have House Republicans adopting a resolution to say that the Tangerine Terror did not participate in an insurrection. Well, that is politically motivated because, again, we all watched it on TV. We saw what happened. We saw them assaulting police officers, which personally offends me. We saw them vandalizing the Capitol building, breaking windows, disturbing congressional offices, stealing. That happened. We heard them chanting, "Where's Nancy?" and "Hang Mike Pence." So this all happened. This has nothing to do with sicking the Department of Justice on political opponents. These are crimes that were committed on TV, and now accountability is happening. So get over it, all right? And I personally am so looking forward to voting, at least in here in Arizona, I will not be voting for Debbie Lusko. I'm not voting for Kirsten Sinema. I'm voting for Ruben Gallego in the primary because I can vote in those primaries, just not the presidential primary since I'm registered no party preference. But just by the actions of the GOP and this latest resolution to try and say that this partisan body is saying he did not commit an insurrection, therefore we can't hold him responsible, is laughable. So again, watch what they do, not what they say. Watch C-SPAN. You'll see it happening in live on the floor, and there's no spin on it. You'll hear exactly what they're saying. There's no TV reporters putting a microphone in their face so they can put a spin on what's happening. This is just blatant partisanship protecting their comrade, Cadet Bone Spurs. Because, again, to me, just from the looks of it, the GOP supports communism, which is why they are doing everything they can to block aid to Taiwan to protect themselves against communist China and to block aid to Ukraine to protect themselves against communist Russia. So just, be aware. You don't have to pay attention 24/7, but the information is there. And that's how I see it. I'd love to know how you see it. Any thoughts you have, please leave them in the comments section below. I'm Gene, and Zane and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Thank you so much for indulging me. Remember to be safe, be kind, and treat each other the way you want to be treated. All right? We'll see you later. Good night.